Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Silicon Valley. And I just wrap up this show from Mike Judge. I'm a huge Mike Judge fan. I love King of the Hill, I love Office Space, fan of Beavis and Butthead, and you have, God, we live in idiocracy. But this show focuses on the tech world and follows a struggling Richard Hendricks and his team of engineers and their company, Pied Piper. And over the course of 6 seasons, they hit it big, and then they crash. And they hit it big, and then they crash. And, it's rinse, dry, and repeat of all these different crazy things, which I feel like the show, they keep it just fresh enough with new characters and new situations that it doesn't get completely repetitive, but, it still kind of is repetitive after a while, where it's just like, how many more times can these people fail? And you keep going, and you keep going with it. There's some good twists and turns in the story that keeps it very interesting. There's some really strong cliffhangers of like, what are they going to do in this situation? And narratively, I feel like it pays off in such a meaningful way in the final episode. In such a meaningful way in the final episode that it's just so enjoyable in that way that the last episode really got me, to be perfectly honest. And you see these characters and their dynamics over the course of the show. And obviously, like long-running TV shows, it's like all about the characters, right? You're spending all this time with them. This has a lot of humor. I think it's a really funny show. And it's absurd, but it's also clever in many ways as well. You really feel that Mike Judge, like workplace awkwardness kind of thing that you get out of Office Space. You have Thomas Middleditch as Richard, who I strongly dislike. I don't like Richard. I don't think he's a likable character, and honestly, I don't think Thomas Middleditch really brings anything interesting to this role either. He's just kind of there, and I never really felt like I was in Richard's corner, and he kind of just annoys me a lot. But the rest of the characters, T.J. Miller is just a interesting case, but Erlich Bachman is a really funny and outlandish character, and I felt like, I have a lot of fun with that character in this show and the absurdness. My favorite character is after Guilfoyle, Martin Starr's character. He's so great in this show, and Kumail Nanjiani does such a great job as Dinesh, even though he could be pretty unlikable too, but there's something about him that's just really entertaining and fun. And, give a lot of props to Zach Woods, who Jared seems to be, a very thankless role in this show, but he makes so much out of it. And there's a lot of humor in his character, and he really brings it out. Amanda Crew as Monica, I feel is really a thankless role in this film. In this show, getting to be, the one woman in this whole scenario and really trying to balance that out. And, they do some interesting things with her over the course of the seasons, but I don't know if they really, make the most use of her. Matt Ross as Gavin Belsom is such a great antagonist throughout this whole show. He's really entertaining, and he has some great moments. Jimmy O Yang popping up, having Jin Yang is a lot of fun, and even Stephen Tobolowsky, who pops up for a couple seasons, a really strong antagonist, and does such a great job in this show. And you just look at this ensemble of really talented small character actors as well. There's a lot of fun random characters throughout too. I just feel like this show is I've heard somebody describe this as a comedy for nerds about nerds, where Big Bang Theory is show comedy about nerds for not nerds. And I really appreciate this show because I could feel the nerdiness and the geekiness about it, and I appreciated that. It felt welcoming and interesting for somebody who does have that perspective. Not that I'm very good with tech stuff, not really. But I had a lot of fun with this show, despite the fact that I really did not like his protagonist. But everybody else was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed the ride. And I'm so glad that I got a chance to watch this. Big shout out to Joey P., my friend Joe, who for a long time had his own YouTube channel. He's the one who kind of turned me on to Silicon Valley, and I'm glad that he did. So thanks, Joe. Little shout out. But this was a fun show. It's really enjoyable. It's on HBO Max now. And I'm glad that I went all the way through and went coast to coast and enjoyed the hell out of this show. But those are my thoughts on Silicon Valley. Let me know what you think. Let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.